Hello, Simon. Thank you for your time. Can you please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us what you're doing and maybe why you're doing, and also maybe a little bit of your backstory, where you're coming from, what was your musical upbringing?
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
So my name's Simon, and so I have currently my music project right now, which is called Nyf, which is spelled Nyf, for more like an English, spelling for the word. But people here in Switzerland or like German-speaking people can get a bit confused about how to say it properly.
Yeah,
But
I would say Nyf, and you might have heard it before, right?
Yeah, that's what people say. Is I was trying to be clever, but I guess maybe a little bit too much. So my musical upbringing is I started playing like piano when I was a teenager, and then I got into playing guitar a bit. I guess I was more into playing like heavier stuff like metal, and I mean eventually after some time I decided I wanted to play in some bands, and I kind of like throughout my 20s I didn't really do much musically, I have to say. I just kind of was working, and I mean I was always into music but I wasn't really playing, and then I got more into it and wanted to play in bands and take it a bit more seriously. So eventually I managed to get into some bands. I was playing in London with some bands there, and since I moved to Switzerland I played in a metal band here too, and I mean it was going really well, and I really enjoyed the stuff we did. We got to go on a small tour and play some nice festivals. It was a really good time, but I guess nothing lasts forever, so I kind of found that I was needing to kind of express myself in a different kind of way. I mean I think like for me, like playing guitar is like something I find difficult to feel like I can express ideas through it very easily,
Mm-hmm.
So I got more into writing stuff with electronics and like synths, and I mean throughout this time I also got a lot more into music production and engineering and recording, and that's what I do now for a job. So I have a studio with everything set up, and I can just go there and kind of make some music if I have some free time. But I just kind of found a way to be able to actually get songs done. Like I think that was always the biggest problem, was just like write a little piece of an idea and just not know how to finish it. But that seemed to kind of fall into place a little bit easier. So I was able to the stuff I'm doing now is a lot more electronic. It's like industrial kind of dark synth, I call it. So it's just a variety of styles right now. I'm not sure exactly where it's heading. It's just a kind of doing whatever I want to do, really, and it's a little bit all over the place, but it's been really fun. I think it's been definitely a kind of a good thing to be keeping me occupied at the moment with everything going on. So I mean as I said, I was listening to like a lot of metal stuff when I was growing up, but I also got into like some kind of like electronic stuff like drum and bass, and something that I was really into, and recently like more like industrial techno stuff. So that's kind of like my electronic influences. Anything that's kind of like dark sounding, I like it really. I mean, I just kind of I gravitate towards any kind of music that just has that kind of darkness to it. I don't know how to explain that, but
are you such a dark person inside?
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know, but, Yeah, so I just try and put together stuff that I like. Really, I don't know. That's kind of it.
No, I mean, that's the perfect answer. You know, I mean, you do what you like, and this is how I found you as well. You know, I mean, I'm a radio DJ, and I played your music, so I found Nyf, I have to say, because I wanted to say Nyf.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm German. You know, for us, you got it for not wrong is the wrong word, but it's yeah, we would have. I didn't know what you meant by it, but now I get it's a wordplay kind of, or you tried to be clever, and
Yeah, I
for us
tried, but
for us German speaking ones, it's backfired a bit. Um, anyway, Nyf, I played Nyf, and I was very intrigued by the dark synth stuff, but also the guitar, because this is what I really I like industrial metal kind of stuff. So you got for me you got the mixture right. So that's why I wanted to get to know you and to know who's behind the project. That's the reason we are talking here, right? I have to tell you one thing. In preparation of this talk, I usually go over, what I can find of you out there. And I have to tell you, I don't find much out there for you about you or your project. Yeah, that's why I'm even more intrigued to get to know the person behind. As I gather now, you're Brit, right? You're a British citizen, I guess, still. So
yes,
you
yeah.
grew up close to London. You have still your British accent. I can clearly tell.
Hmm.
Um, so why did you? I mean, you don't have. I didn't tell you this in the things we talked before. You don't have to answer any question you don't want to answer. Just gloss over it, and so I don't want to. Um, but if you want to answer, why did you move to Switzerland? I mean, this is not the. I mean, why? I was a couple of times in Switzerland. I'm not so far away, of course. But was there a special reason? If you want to elaborate, if you don't, just gloss over it.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't a plan, I guess. Like, it wasn't like a goal that I had, but yeah, basically, I moved here because of a girlfriend I had.
Ah,
Really,
the,
that
the
was kind of it.
classic
So,
story.
yeah, I know. Yeah. But I've been in London for quite a long time, and actually was quite interested in changing things a bit. And
Hmm.
yeah, so just decided to come here.
Okay.
um,
And
yeah.
you said you have your own studio, right? And
Hmm.
so can I assume that you are living from your studio work? Is this your income? Because I'm not sure, and sorry if I intrude here too much or so, but or if I'm being rude, I don't think you are living from your music as of now, right?
No, not my music, but that's just a kind of yeah, it's a hobby, I suppose.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, I have a studio here, and that's what I do full time, recording bands and mixing and mastering and various things like that. So
Hmm. And this is just you got all the skills you learned it by doing, or was there any technical school you went through or something, some training?
yeah, I mean, I did go to a short thing in London. It was like a few months, just some basic stuff about sound engineering. But you know, I think with this stuff, you have to learn by
Hmm.
doing it. Really, I
Hmm.
mean, it just takes time and experience and making mistakes and
Yeah,
yeah,
and
trying to
I
figure out
guess
why. And
I guess also, sorry for interrupting, but what I think is also an important thing. I mean, maybe you can talk about that because um, what I gather from bands want to work with certain producers or mixers or engineers because they have a certain sound. So in a way, you need to know what you have to do, of course, but also you have to kind of tainted in your unique way, so that people kind of recognize it also, you know? I mean, it's, you know, of course, Rick Rubin, you know, the big guy who kind of does a lot of different stuff, but it's always him. And so in a way, you are an artist in a different capacity. You help artists to sound the best, usually, you know, this is what you try, but also you put your own stamp on it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends actually. Depends who you ask, I guess. There's for some producers.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, for some producers, they won't change anything. They'll just record it exactly how you know the band has it, and you know they don't want to assume that they know better somehow than the artist, which I can understand, you know. But I think for me, I fall in the middle somewhere, you know. Like I it's hard to say like what my sound is exactly. I'm still figuring that out a little bit, but you know, I'll get involved as much as I can, or as much as the band wants, or the artist wants, or whatever. And you know, yeah, I think it's just trying to figure out, like, for me, it's just trying to figure out like where you can get involved, and where the line is, you know, and how far you want to go with that. So
yeah, it's
I don't want to.
It's a thin red line you have to walk there. If it's a saying, I don't know. You know, my English is not the best, but yeah, I get it. But it's interesting because you know, because. So yeah, you kind of go both ways, as I understand you. You don't get involved too much. You try to find out where the tipping point is, whether it is too much. But how do you decide that? Because you get, you know, the raw material, maybe, you know. I mean, they send you a demo, and can you do that, and can you do something with it? And then you automatically, I assume, have some this I can do louder, and this can do more in the foreground and background, you know, whatever, however you deal with it. So how is your decision process of, you know, how much you want to, I mean, it depends maybe also on the band, of course, you know, if a band is kind of like, this is our vision, and this has to be this way. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I kind of answered my question myself, I guess. But please, maybe you can elaborate a little bit.
I mean, it just depends on also like what you're doing with, like, if it's just mixing a song for someone, maybe they've recorded it somewhere else and they just want you to mix it. So, I mean, you're kind of stuck with the sounds they gave you pretty much. Like, then, you know, it's, I mean, for me, I mean, I just have a level of, what is acceptable, what I want to put out, you know, for the quality of work I do. So if it's not up to that, then they have to give me something better, basically. But I mean, very rarely in that point I'll be like changing the song structure or like doing anything like that. You know, it's like I would assume the songs are written and that's how they want them. But if a band comes to the studio, then we have more opportunities to like, you know, depending on how much time we have to like, to work on the songs a little bit more and kind of, you know, put a bit of structure, change some things around, or, you know, it sort of depends on time, and it depends on, it depends on quite a lot of things. But I generally, you know, I mean, I'm more into like the mixing side of things. I think like, I mean, producing is I've done some producing with some artists before, like even some like more like pop artists or like soul singers, and you know, that's been really fun, and like putting together like songs from like basic demos, so you really have like a lot of control over like the sounds and like the structure and the, you know, all these things you can do. So yeah, it kind of just depends on the project really, but I'm not gonna generally I'm not gonna change things too much, or like really just rewrite their songs, or like fire half their band, or like some producers really are like that, though. They really, if someone isn't playing like right, they'll just get them out the studio and hire someone to come in and play their parts, or I
Mm-hmm.
know that's too much for me, really. But I mean, generally, if I can play it better, maybe perhaps I'll just grab the guitar or bass, or I'll play it myself, and
Mm-hmm.
that's okay, like no problem. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
it,
I guess, I mean, maybe we focus more on your music now, because it's
mm,
um, I guess what I don't know how to phrase it, but anyway, the for me, um, the most important thing is that it's good for the song. Sometimes songs are overstuffed with too much things, because every guitar guy wants to show how well he can play his guitar, and he can do a solo and whatever, but the song doesn't need it. And your
mhm.
songs have, even if there's a lot of stuff going on, we have quite some clarity, and I like that. It's we're not cluttered with stuff. I don't mind if there's sometimes a big crescendo somewhere, a thing, but I like when I can follow the structure, and I didn't know, in preparation I listened to one of your songs, 6 minutes something. I forgot which one. Sorry, but I liked, it was slowly building. It was always, it took the listener seriously enough to give him always something new, but not too little to make it boring. That you're too repetitive, that it's kind of standing still, kind of. So that's a nice balance. I want to hear, to and I guess, circling back to your mixing or producing, that's you have to find also, to yeah to get the right amount of stuff in a song, to make it still sound good, and to have the norm the vision of an artist in it, as you got it. And I guess, this is maybe more than the personal skill you might need for that, to think, to find out if it's really what the artist wanted, or is it because he couldn't do it better, and you can help him along to do it better. So,
Mhm.
how do you find? Because you just you moved to Switzerland recently, or you are well longer already?
Not recently, about 7 years or 8 years
Oh,
or so.
okay, sorry. Okay, then I was far off, because we as we chatted on Instagram, I was talking with you in German, because I think I saw a German article written about you, so I assumed you're now in
Mm,
Switzerland, that you speak German.
yeah.
Okay, so 7 years, yeah. Okay, but German is not, and you're in the German part of Switzerland, apparently.
hmm
Okay, so yeah, okay. It's not the easiest language. It's close to. It has some, not close. It has some similarities with English, but yeah, it's not the same, as you
Yeah.
know. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so you're already
hmm
established after 7 years, because this was my question, actually. How do you find the bands or the artists you work with?
Uh, yeah. I mean, just yeah, like from the people I've met here, really just my friends, mostly the network that I've managed to make. I also have a website, and people can like find me if they're searching for someone to mix their song online.
Hmm.
Um, they can find me and contact me that way. So yeah, mostly through bands I've worked with, and just the um, the contacts I have here in Switzerland
Hmm.
and online.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And this is maybe, I usually try to avoid it, but you're the first guy I'm talking from Switzerland. So how is the pandemic situation in Switzerland at the moment? Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. If you want to talk about it, I mean, you looked a little bit upset, and I can, we are in a slight lockdown here in Germany at the moment.
yeah, it's. I think it's worse in other places,
Hmm.
from what I've heard. Here in Basel, I mean, we had a full lockdown before, but now things are open. But there's restrictions, and um, things close early. but I guess it could be worse. But yeah, it's just something I guess you have to just try and deal with. And yeah, it's been tough though. It's been like pretty difficult to deal with. Just like your world completely changing like that. All of a sudden it's for everybody. It's a tough thing. But yeah, just got to find a way, I guess, and hopefully things will improve next year.
Yeah, just like a few days ago, I was really down because I realized, that even with a vaccine on the horizon and whatever, it will take a long time to get the vaccine to everyone. That things are back to normal. So my earliest estimation is next week summer, but most likely more like in a year. Like today in a year or so, everyone can be vaccinated, and then things are normal. Because, if you really think about it, it makes no sense if just the Europe or so gets the vaccine and then the whole other world not, because then you cannot travel anywhere, and it's still not back to normal. It gets no anyway. So sorry, I'm just talking about myself here. I was a little bit down the last few days because of this. So I was like, oh, this can go on forever.
Yeah, I mean, me too as well. But
yeah, I mean, it's no. In German, we say there is no no good comes out if you lament over spilled milk. I mean, it's the way it is. You have to deal with it and stuff. But I realize for myself that usually you tread these things that you are with your parents on Christmas, but now I'm kind of like, oh, I will miss it, in a way. And I guess it's the same with you. You have some travel restrictions. I'm pretty sure you will not go to England for the holidays. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah. I mean, probably the worst thing recently was that I was supposed to play a show with this project, but it got cancelled. And actually, it's been cancelled twice now. So, like, it's just frustrating. I mean, I was getting ready to. I mean, that's something that I really want to do with my music, is just to play it live, and even like get some other people involved, perhaps. And this was I was really looking forward to it. And then like a week before, it was like, no. I mean, I thought it was going to happen really, but they had us like believing that it might happen still, and then they cancelled it. So
this would have been one of my next questions. Because this is your solo project, as I understand it, right? So how was, now everything is cancelled, but how was your setup? How did you want to bring it live to the stage?
Yeah. So I guess I wasn't really sure, but what I've ended up, for at least for now, was just to have like a keyboard. Like a lot of the sounds I use, they're from like soft synths, I guess, like some MIDI stuff. So I was like thinking about what to do with, and what I had was basically just like a laptop and a keyboard, like a MIDI keyboard, and like a lot of it would be playback, obviously, but there's some stuff I can play live, and some guitar parts I can play live too, and just kind of try and do it that way, really, just like have it play back the backing tracks, I guess, and then the parts I can play live on top of it. So at least there's some kind of like performance instead of just like, I don't know what else, just like a DJ set or something. I don't want that. So I mean,
just on some turntables and put the fingers. Where's my camera? Here. Put the fingers in the air. And You're not. This is not the right music for that. I'm pretty sure. It's more dark and brooding, and it's more soundscapey. It's you build really like a backdrop for a movie or something. It's something more, something bigger.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing if I could get some of my music on a movie.
Yeah, but by the way, this is kind of movie. I watched some stuff on YouTube, but it was just computer generated stuff. Are you thinking of doing some? I mean, at the moment everything is a little bit out of the question. But was there some intention of you to put in some real footage videos or something for your songs?
Yeah. I mean, the videos I put out are just like basic animation stuff, or just so I can release stuff really. But ideally, like the visual element, especially live, is going to be would be a really important thing. If I could get like a light set up for a live show that I can coordinate, that'd be really amazing. I mean, I've seen some artists like Perturbator. I don't know if you know him.
No.
He does some kind of like synth wave kind of stuff, and like he's playing like mostly he does the music himself, and recently he got like a drummer to play some like e-drums, I guess, and he has an amazing light show to go with it, like really, really cool. It just makes all the difference, I think. So I mean, I think it's obviously an important part of this kind of music. It's a visual thing more than just like the sounds and stuff. So I mean, if I can learn how to like edit videos properly or afford to pay someone to do it, maybe then I'll definitely be doing that in the future. We'll have to see how it goes.
This is my problem with I mean, thank you for sharing your setup. The issue I always see with that is a little bit, I mean, not that you have so much. You had only these two gigs, or did you play live before with Nyf? No. Because the issue I see there is that with all the backing tracks, it's kind of, you're really bound to, if it's 6 minutes, it's 6 minutes, and if you ask to play an encore, it's like, okay, it's exactly 6 minutes again. This is always, I mean, you played in live bands, so that's a cool thing. If you're in a band, you just look around and, the drummer knows, okay, another turnaround, and, and you can go on, or you just, extend the song. So this is always, I mean, this is not the case yet because people couldn't even see you, but if they would have seen you, basically, and you wouldn't have switched around your set, they kind of would have seen the same show twice. I'm sorry, don't get this wrong, I don't want to put it down, and I don't know your showmanship skills, they might be great, whatever, but this is the downfall I see with this setup, that it's kind of, if you don't. I don't know. If you use MIDI, you can at least, kind of put your synths. If you have real synths, you kind of how you say, steer? No, how you play with it. You can twiddle the knobs a little bit, and then you have like this finger in the air thing. Here's my camera, where you can or something, But I guess you're also gonna play with a guitar. You could also kind of put some different notes and stuff in there. So anyway, this is just my thoughts of it, because it can get stale in a way.
I mean, that was just what I could think of to like make something happen. But I mean, ideally, like I said, ideally it would be more like a band, playing with actually maybe 2 or 3 people extra, like maybe a guitarist and maybe a drummer, and maybe I can do some synth stuff, and like that, and that would be really awesome. But it's just like starting somewhere, I guess, and kind of building it up.
Absolutely. Sorry, so I didn't want it. I didn't want to put it down. It's absolutely. No. I've seen dark wave bands where we really literally just do bam, push one button and then and on the keyboard, or maybe 2 notes, and then the singer or someone stands in front and just sings. I mean, there's nothing going on there. And it still works because it's kind of the aesthetic of a music. And with your music, it would still work because it's more, like I said, like a soundscape. I remember. Okay, this is, as we were still could go out, I saw Monkeys Free. I don't know if you know them. They do I don't know what kind of music, but anyway, we had a big laser show, and we had also backing tracks, and we were playing live over it. It was great, and I didn't know that there's backing in there and stuff. It was still kind of, I mean, we had a real drum and real bass and real guitar, and
Okay.
but a lot of synth stuff what came from the machine, So I know we needed to play in sync, kind of. But it was all the difference, It was kind of, I was really immersed into. So I'm kind of can see you also there, because you have a very immersive kind of sound, where it's not so important. And don't get it wrong, you look very good. To look at you're more in the music sphere, into that you have your inner movies are running while you play your music. That's how I perceive it. It's maybe just me, but so for you, it's kind of can be also just a laser show, some strobe lights and whatever, and then people just moving to the music.
Yeah, it would definitely be less about like the performance on stage by the artist. I mean, obviously with this kind of music, it's the work is done before the show, really, and like for the show, it's just like, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do the whole thing. So, but yeah, I think like some cool visuals, some lights, like you said, and just more like an immersive experience. Yeah, that would be
exactly.
Really cool.
Exactly.
I mean, I think we can get there one day.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, your music is really good. So, I mean, you're very welcome. I'm a fanboy. That's why I wanted to talk with you. So I played it in my radio show, and if there's more coming out, you can send it to me, and I'm happy to play it again or put it in my playlist. Was it by choice that you don't have vocals, or was it because you couldn't find someone to sing, or you didn't want it? I mean, is it by choice, or if you want to answer this question?
Well, it just comes down to what I can do on my own, really, and I can't really sing, so that just never came up. But every time I play a song to someone, they're always like, oh yeah, I can really hear some vocals here, or like something here, and like, I mean, if I find someone that can do that for me, like that wants to, I mean, I suppose it's always possible to get like guest performers on for songs, but that becomes complicated when you want to do them live, because obviously you can't have like 5 different people to follow you around for one song each. Doesn't make much sense. So at least that's what I thought. So I decided not to bother with that route, and just kind of like try and hope the songs could carry on their own without it. I mean, there is some kind of vocal ideas a friend of mine did for me on some of the songs. So like it's more like, it's not really like, it's more just like another texture instead of just like, the standing,
I see what you mean. I think it's more he used maybe his voice more like an instrument and less than vocals, that you really can perceive. And there's lyrics. I mean, there might be lyrics, but it's not that important. For
it's just like maybe a couple of sentences instead of just like a whole verse and a chorus and another one, and like that's not the important part. But yeah, it was just, I mean, just because I can just sit at home or at my studio and work with the music and
No, that's absolutely fine. You don't, I just wanted to know, because sometimes it's by choice, and sometimes, and it makes perfect sense. And I was just recently talking about this. Your music also lets the freedom that you can hear more things of it. What I meant in the beginning, that you don't overstuff it. So this also means my brain, and of course brains of others, fill in things that aren't there. And for me, it happens quite normally, because I'm singing in a project as well, so that I can try to not to follow just the things, but also put in a vocal melody that fits in there, and I can hear that in your songs, even if they are not there. My brain does it, because I'm kind of usually go through music like this. This is the same. You might know what I mean when you hear someone playing on the acoustic guitar, just on a little campfire and singing and just acoustic guitar. You can sometimes hear. I can hear violins and even an orchestra in the background. It's not there, but in my head, it's just added. You see what I mean? This is kind of how I like your music, because it's immersive and there's more in it. There's this Meta-Ebenen, wie sagt man das auf Englisch? There's more in it than you can what's really there. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But the eye can see, the ear can hear. And I really like that, because this is also what I said in the beginning, that you take the listener seriously, and don't spoon-fed them everything. And there's air to breathe. There's freedom to breathe.
Yeah. Some room for the imagination to
exactly
explore.
Exactly. Yeah. This is what makes a good song, to that you can have it on repeated listening and still find new things in it. Like with a good movie. If you really like this movie, you can when you and here she has, I don't know, this dress and this color comes in and whatever. And so it's the same here. If you have it on repeat listening, you find different textures, or you just focus your mind on something else, and then you find little nitbits you have put in there, and what might not be there with the first hearing. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm a fanboy. I like it.
Yeah, there's lots of little bits of, I guess ear candy, you could say, that I like to throw in, just from a fun, like, mixing point of view, that sound interesting. Lots of sounds that like pan across, like left and right, and I don't know, stuff that's cool to listen to on headphones.
Yeah, no, I really like that, and I do most of my listening, of course, on headphones, and I also like that. You certainly didn't apply to your 2-minute or just 3-minute rule or something. You give it also air to breathe. That it's longer, and I like that. That's I had a discussion with a friend who was like, "Oh no, but it's not so Spotify friendly and whatever, because you make it really short and you can put in more in a playlist, and you get more listens because people stick at least for 31 seconds, I think it is, on Spotify." Anyway, this is what art should be. You do it. You give it its due diligence. The time it needs to breathe. So yeah, thank you for doing that as well.
Yeah, sure. I don't like to conform to any kind of standards myself, so
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking you also for even if it's a very prying question, for your financial well-being, because this also gives you, of course, the opportunity to do whatever you want to do, and you don't have to conform with normal standards.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's expected in any way, so you do what you like then.
And that's just how it should be, that you're not I don't know, you're not writing jingles for advertisement or something where somebody tells you it needs to be, and in 7 seconds it needs to pop, and then this, and so I don't get it that some artists sometimes, or at least it seems to me, kind of feel they need to be confirmed to something, because of course there's the algorithm and whatever, but hey, what at the end, we will move on, and then there's more than the algorithm, and anyway, you do the music for the humans, not for the algorithm. Anyway, that's I can get really upset with some of this stuff what happens there, but let's not go there maybe.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something and I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I wanted to shoot. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, hmm.
So you were talking before about the guitar stuff and how it's not like um, like a main part of what the music is about. I mean, I just wanted to touch on that quickly
Yep.
because
Go ahead.
yeah, I've always felt since I got into like playing guitar and electronic music as well like that like it was really hard to find bands that did that stuff, you know, or you would find it and it just never was quite right. And I think, I mean, I always thought, well, you know, I don't understand why more bands don't go like more with heavy guitars and electronic music and stuff. I come to realize that it's actually harder than you might think to make that really work out. But I mean, I'm under no illusion that I'm like an amazing guitar player. So like, I'm not trying to show off with what I do with guitar. It's just there to like add another layer of something and kind of,
It has to
yeah,
benefit the song, you know, not just, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, I'm not sure if I mean, I think for me, like I'm happy with like how they're blending and stuff. It's like at least, yeah, it's hard to, I can't really compare it to any other bands and stuff, but yeah,
And that's you know, it's talking about from a marketing perspective. This is of course a really good thing because you are not, you know, you're not how in Deutsch sagt man von der Stange. You know, you're not from the same cloth. You're something special because you don't do what everyone else does. Basically, you know. So in a way, now I remember what I wanted to talk to ask you. So
okay.
anyway, but as we are here at this thing. So what kind of bands inspired you to get there, you know, or artists? What's kind of what stuff you are liking these days? I guess it changed a little
Yeah,
bit as well.
yeah. I mean, I guess what inspired me the most about trying to make this kind of music was going to like festivals. There's a festival that me and some of my friends went to quite frequently called Roadburn, which is in the Netherlands, and it's a kind of, I guess you could say, a metal festival, but it's not mainstream at all. Really, there's a lot of more extreme bands there, like kind of some doom stoner bands, black metal, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. I mean, a lot of bands I have no idea about really, but you know, they're always really, really good. And
Hmm.
recently there was a lot of electronic artists showing up there, and the crowd was like really into it. You know, they were loving that stuff, and the atmosphere was so great. It was like being in a metal show, but like electronic music. And I was just like, that's something that I would love to do. You know, like
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
was something that really inspired me to kind of, yeah, to kind of try and do that myself a little bit. So yeah, I mean, some of the bands, like I said, I mentioned one earlier, Perturbator, Carpenter Brute. They do this like synth wave kind of stuff. You know, that's it's. I mean, it's not, that stuff isn't heavy at all, really, but it's you know, yeah, they still play at metal festivals and people love them. So I mean, that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm also getting quite into like more industrial techno stuff at the moment.
Hmm.
I've always been into drum and bass, so I love listening to that. Um, yeah, you know, music's kind of difficult. I mean, it's like weird for me at the moment as well because I you know, I just listen to music in a kind of different way than I used to. So there's not like bands that I'm really into really anymore, like
Hmm.
that I'm following, or like I used to like going to see bands live all the time, and especially in London. And yeah, I think just the way we listen to music has changed a lot too, obviously, with streaming and stuff. So just kind of skipping through, going onto playlists and just like hearing stuff, and you know, occasionally like something will stick out that you save it. But yeah, it was really just like these festival experiences, I suppose, that it sort of inspired me to sort of try. I mean, I had a couple of songs that I just started writing and, you know, put to the side and never really finished them. And eventually I just like, I was like, okay, I'm just going to try and get some stuff done. And see what happens, so
Hmm.
like, yeah, that's kind of it really. I mean, it's only just been this year the start of this year that I released the first song, and I've only released 4. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of at the moment just trying to figure out like where to go with it all really and what to do. So
Hmm.
there's like a couple more songs I can release and yeah, I kind of like need to think about the direction a little bit more
Hmm.
than I had before. Before the songs are a little bit all over the place, but like as far as the style goes, but I want to try and just find something a bit more cohesive, I suppose, for what I want to do going forward.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, would be great to go out and play some shows and
Yeah,
great if
no,
people
of
listen
course,
to it and
we're all waiting for it. I mean, this is in all the bad stuff. This is something I think will be good because people will really, we will crave for live shows. We will, once we are allowed again. I don't think it will be like a spring flood or something. Like it will be slow. But we will really enjoy it much more, at least for a while, and when it becomes normal again, But what you said is really something I find also too, and I really like that this is uh, the metal community. You have very, let's say, hard heads, very focused. This is only the true thing, and this is true metal, and this is true not metal, and whatever, and
yeah.
there's no mix. But a lot of them are really. And I'm also like this, I have my certain sets of what I like, but I like also fringes, and I can listen. I don't condemn something because I know, oh, okay, this is a dance song. I'm not gonna. I will still listen to it. I might not, most likely not like it, but I think this openness is starting. I see it too in the metal community. You still have, your hard hats, of course. We are not changing, or your purists or whatever. But yeah, I think it's also this is kind of a nice fresh air, and I really like that too. I played in bands myself, and I always hated that. I always wanted to bring. I'm a bass player usually, and a singer, and what am I going to say? And I always wanted to bring some electronic into rock music and stuff, and just mix it and marry it. And
Yeah.
I liked Ministry, of course, and I still like them, of course. But so and I was like, oh, why can we not just marry this also and do some new thing, and always the same stuff? And I like rock music, and really I like to rock out and headbang and whatever, but just, look, in Deutsch sagt man über den Tellerrand, look over the horizon, there is, to other pastures, not just, I hate, for me, and I guess so it's the same for you, music is this big green pasture where you can run in every direction and nothing is wrong, It's just the way what you want to do, what you like, or what you can do, sometimes the hardware is a limiting factor, or or your abilities, of course, and stuff. But apart from this, if you like it, it's good. I mean, this is there is no right or wrong in music. Basically, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and yeah, I like this that it's kind of slowly opens, and this, even with the bad things, what all the streaming does, I think sometimes it also helps to open up, because you get some new stuff sometimes. If the algorithm doesn't work against you and you only get the same stuff again and again, and you stay in your little bubble. Anyway, so yeah, that's a cool
Yeah.
inspiration story for that, and I think you did it. I mean, like I said, I'm a fanboy. You did it quite well, marrying
Thank you.
electronics with heavy guitars, because this is also what I like to hear. I like pop music a lot. And for me, sometimes, some of these metalcore stuff, it's just pop music played really hard, and I would like that, but we would never admit to, and we always have to do a drop, and the what do you call it, the slam down or whatever, and so it's so formulaic and stuff, and just yeah. Anyway, I'm sometimes
Yeah.
annoyed that people don't get out of their little bubble.
I think when you can predict what's going to happen before it happens, then like that's a bit of a problem. I mean, that means you're not doing it right. So like just try and just experiment and just do whatever you like. I guess just do what feels good, and it doesn't matter if you look back 10 years later and you think, oh my God, like I could have done that better, but at the time it was what you could do, and just keep evolving and keep learning and. I think,
Exactly.
Yeah, just make music that you want.
Exactly. I mean, you got this right, and this is the most important thing. And it might, you will not please everyone with it, and that's absolutely fine. But at least you like it, and if you like it, because when we come back to your performance, unfortunately you haven't had yet. I mean, but you know it as you were on the stage before. If you're really into what you're doing. This transpires much more to the audience, and you don't even have to be this big showman and, running around on dancing or whatever. It just, you can play just your things, but it's honest and it will transpire to the people. I'm absolutely certain of that. That's why I mentioned this thing with Monkey Free. We were not moving around much. It was, we were quite static, but it was so cool, and it worked, and this is because we really stand behind what we were doing. Basically, simple as that, And so, anyway, so for me, of course, the only thing is you have to really love what you're doing and love your music. The question I had was a really stupid one, but I'm going to ask you anyway now because, but I think I know the answer. Have you ever tried to find a label or some distribution channel, help from a label for your music? Have you did that? If you want to talk about it, if you have bad experience, maybe not.
I mean, I do have a label actually for it. So.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I did not a good research because I saw you on Bandcamp, and I didn't know that labels also do Bandcamp. A good friend of mine here in Switzerland, Freddie, who was a guest singer and guitar player on one of the songs. In fact, two of the songs now. He's the label owner as well. So he's in a cool band here called Zatograph, which I'm working in my studio with as well. So we do a lot of stuff together because he's also a record label owner. He knows lots of bands, so good contact for me. But yeah, he's putting out my music at the moment, and I'm working on his band, recording that. So that's been cool. I mean, he's like he got me in touch with the Sonic Seducer. I guess that's where you saw the article. Okay, yeah, Sonic Seducer. I saw it there. Yes.
Yeah, and he's doing a little bit of promo and stuff online. So yeah, I mean. Yeah, it's been good. I mean, obviously, it's a new project, and it's kind of just to get things started, to get things moving is always the hardest thing for a new project. I think like once you can kind of get some kind of momentum, then things generally tend to like happen a bit easier. But it's but I don't know.
We both are working on the momentum right now. This talk is the momentum, and I hope you will send me the new songs. I can play them on my radio station, station on my radio show. I played them before. This is how I found you. I think you sent me, or you have a label, Freddie, sent me stuff on Submit Hub, and so I really liked it. So anyway, yeah. So this is I will do what I can do to get you out there. It shouldn't be.
You, man.
You're very welcome. I mean, for me, it's always. I tell the artists, I only do this, of course, for artists I like and music I like. I don't get paid for that, and so for me, this is also my hobby, my how you say, my passion, and so. I like it, and for me, it's cool if people can grow and if I can do my little thing with it. And who knows, one day this pandemic will be over, and I'm gonna see you on a festival, and then I can, this was I talked with him, I know him, and this will be great. I will love that. So, and I
Yeah,
hope
me
this
too.
this will happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, honestly, stay in touch. You have my contacts now, and please send me the next songs you're bringing out. I would really like to hear them. I'm pretty sure I will like them, so I'm gonna play them. Easy as that.
Cool. I definitely will, man.
Okay. Yeah. So we are nearing us the 1 hour mark. So yeah, as you have not toured with a knife, there's not much. Usually I ask for some funny tour antics or stuff. This is always fun for the listener. Yeah, there's not much there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You could,
Hopefully next time.
yeah. Or is there some other funny story you can from the studio work or so you can tell to the people, or something you want to share? If not, but that's fine as well.
Funny stories.
Or some funny stuff that happened to you as you were touring with your other band or something. Some tour antics, if you like, if you know, if you remember.
It was a little while ago, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really nothing really crazy that I could say.
Okay.
I guess.
Then it's fine. Maybe one other question I always have for this is: was there any starstruck moment? I mean, you said you were quite successful with a band, and you had a tour and festivals and stuff. Was there any starstruck moment where you shared the stage with somebody like, I'm a fanboy and I really want to get an autograph or something? You're too content.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we played a cool festival called Metal Days, and that was about 5 years ago, I guess. We were only there for a day, unfortunately, and it was like 5 days long, but wish we'd stayed longer. But yeah, I mean, there was some bands. What was the name of that band that did that album? Remanufacture, Demanufacture. They're kind of industrial. Oh man,
Power Man or no?
Hold on. I've got to find that. I've got to find their name real quick.
Okay, yeah. Otherwise, it will drive you crazy, maybe.
Otherwise, it's Fear Factory. Yeah.
Fear Factory. Oh yeah, Fear Factory, of course.
Yeah. So they were there backstage and stuff, and just people just walking around, and we didn't actually talk to them, but that was pretty awesome. I mean, it's a band I've known for a long time from the 90s and stuff. So, yeah, I would like to do more of that and meet some more cool people like that.
Yeah, but I'm honestly, I think you're doing well, because I mean, I found you, and so if I can find you, others can find you. So you can say, Freddie, you're doing a good job to your label boss.
Okay.
So that's working. Yeah, and like I said, please send me your stuff, and one day this stupid pandemic will be over, and then things will be slowly getting to normal. And in Europe, as you know, there's a lot of festivals, and I think, I mean, with your good music, I think you could even go to Wacken. Wacken, I guess. No,
Wow.
You don't think so?
I would love to. Obviously, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for once it will open up again. Anyway, I know a few bands who went to Wacken, so it's not impossible, because it's a long festival and they have a lot of stages. So there is, even I could picture you in the Wave Gothic Gothic Treffen. You know what it is in Leipzig.
Yep.
So where would you fit in as well? This is the cool thing with your music. You bridge a gap between a few worlds. You could kind of go in this direction or in this direction, and this is always what I like the most. That you're not so bound by, okay, like we talked before, that is kind of, okay, this is, otherwise it's not real Nyf anymore. And, don't ever get into the, blinders.
Yeah.
You call them blinders,
It can,
exactly.
yeah, it can go anywhere really. So yeah, it's really just up to whatever I want to do, and hopefully people would like it. So yeah, I'm certainly not like tied to a specific genre or sound or whatever, which is really nice. So yeah.
No, that's cool. This is what I said earlier with the freedom. It's so silly to kind of cut yourself short just because you think you need to please someone. But I guess now that I know, you're in a really good position because you seem to have a really open-minded label boss, and he's your friend, and so you're making even music with him. So. You know exactly how to deal with him, so that's good for you. So thank you for your time. Do you have any closing statements, something you want to tell to the audience, or at least my last question is when is the new stuff coming out? You said you have some more songs, so what's the schedule there?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty busy preparing for this show, so I kind of I actually had to write a song because I didn't have enough songs to fit in a set. So I have some stuff which is ready, but I just haven't quite decided what to do yet. I'm just trying to think of like the like I said, just like
if you do like an EP or if you do a single, or what are you?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been releasing the songs as singles so far, so I have 4 of them, and I guess I could, with one more, I can just put it all together for an EP. I guess that might work out. So I might do that, and then this kind of bunch of songs is like tied together, and then I can kind of, think about what to do next as like a separate thing perhaps. But yeah, I guess it might be, well, hopefully before the end of the year, I might have one more song released. That's probably the plan.
The year is ending soon. Just let me remind you.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
It's not that long anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can get it done pretty fast, but I'll have to talk to Freddie and see. But yeah, or early next year, then perhaps that'll be an EP. I'm not really sure. And then, yeah, we'll see from there. But there's not really a plan or a schedule or anything at the moment. It's just sort of, it depends on many things. It's complicated.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, for me, the most important thing is that you send it to me once you release new stuff, so that I can play it, and then I can do my little promotion with it. So thank you very much. It was really nice to get to know you. Thank you for your openness, and I'm gonna talk to you hopefully in better times. You know how to reach me if you wanna. Some. I don't know. We could talk again once you might go on tour again. Not again. Once you might go on tour, or so with the stuff. This would be great as a starter. So anyway, you know where to find me. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me and for the conversation. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
It was great, and it's good to hear that people are listening to my music and actually like it. So that's it's encouraging.
And find it. This was the tougher part. I didn't want it to. It's not so easy to find you. Or find out things. The music we can find, but find out the behind stuff. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to do that. There is not much about you. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to be an open book, and in these times, it's sometimes even better. For potential stalkers or whatever, that people don't know too much. But a little bit would maybe help you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put something on my website, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I think in the beginning I said. I hate this whole Instagrammable thingy and stuff and feeding the algorithms and stuff. But how did a friend said? hate the game but not the player, but you have to play it a little bit as well, and even I don't see myself as an influencer, but I am a micro influencer. I have a little Twitter account and Instagram and of course, my radio show and stuff. So I have to play it a little bit as well. So just to anyway. Sorry, I wanted to end on a happy note, and this is not such a happy note. Anyway, the happy note is you're bringing out new material. You don't know yet as an EP or maybe album or just another single. So that's great, and we are really looking forward to hear from you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye.